Hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. Give me 1 second, I'm running a bit behind. Gotta deal with a leak downstairs. So I gotta log in to my chat. How's everyone doing? No, don't. I do you guys feel like you spend half your lives doing two-factor authentication? Is it just me? I feel like I'm constantly logging into things. That's like my life. What's up? Okay. Can y'all hear me? Is this at a good level? Let me try to. Cool. Sorry, it's a kind of a bare bones stream this week. I don't have a bunch of stuff set up. I'm on a different computer, but let's see who is here. Stang, what's up, Stang? Stang says, "Hope you're doing good, Jason." Thanks, man. Hope you're doing good. Tech Blacksmith, what's up, man? The Fishbowl 19, Jay Z Beers or Jay's Beers. What's up, man? What's going on? What's going on? Very cool. Dylan, what's up, Dylan? Good to hear you. Maybe we can get some background music. Every time I try to put on background music, I get flagged. Like YouTube hates when I do that for some reason. Let's see. Pop, royalty free background music. Chill. Yep, Jay's Beers. Let's see. Oh, my headphones aren't on. See, the problem is that the the songs are called copyright music, copyright free, but they won't be. Like I think they trick you. Like they'll say it's royalty free, and then they decide that it's not one day, and then they can just claim your songs. Isn't that amazing? They kind of just wait. I think that's the play. Let me see. Is that too loud? Hmm. Tell me if it's too loud. All right, what's up, guys? It's been a while. How are you? How was everyone's Thanksgiving? I have not been here in a while, in over a month. We left for our vacation before Thanksgiving, so that was like November 20th, I think, is when we left, and we got back on December 11th, so a few days ago. Uh, so it was a long, long trip, and I've been dealing with jet lag ever since. I actually just woke up from a nap like an hour ago, so that would have been like at 5 or 5:30, and I had gone to sleep at noon. So I'm living the degenerate life. But that's just part of it. I'm hoping to be over it by if I can go to bed tonight at a normal time, even though I just woke up. Uh, so if I go to bed, okay. So the other day I stayed up a long time. I was like, okay, this is gonna fix it, and so I stayed up until about 2 a.m. And I'm like, okay, this is definitely gonna fix my sleeping issues. And I stayed up till 2 a.m. way past. I was so tired because jet lag, and fell asleep at 2 a.m. expecting to wake up at like 8, 9, 10 in the morning due to jet lag. Uh, I woke up like at 4 a.m. So like 2 hours later, and I was kind of disoriented. I'm like, man, I it's only been 2 hours. That sucks. This sleep sucks. I need to get a few more hours. And I laid back down, and then when I woke up, it was 4 p.m. So I literally slept for like 14 hours. So still still working on it, but we'll see. Nice. Stang says, nice. Where did you go? So we went to Taiwan, um, which is a beautiful and amazing place. We've been there before in 2017. We went for about 6 days, I think, 7 days. But this time we wanted to take a little bit more time, a little bit slower pace, and find out, more about it. And so we were there for just over 2 weeks this time, and then so that was great. Taiwan's amazing. And then we decided to, because it was winter, my wife really wanted to see northern Japan, which is Hokkaido. So we flew from Taiwan, where we were wearing shorts every day, to Sapporo, which is in the very far north of Japan, where it's very snowy and cold. You know, so going from wearing shorts every day to below freezing temperatures all the time. And then we spent about a week there in northern Japan. But if you guys have been watching the news, there was a big earthquake in Japan last week, and we were at the city in which the earthquake's area was the most. So like it it shot off in the ocean of Aomori Prefecture, which is what we were in, Aomori City. So we got the worst of it. We were in the seventh floor of a hotel during the earthquake, and we're okay. Everyone there is okay. I don't think there were any deaths from it, luckily, but it was pretty scary, pretty shaky to experience an earthquake that large. I had experienced it before, but just tiny little ones, like just little tiny earthquakes, never nothing that big. This one was pretty crazy. But luckily we didn't lose power, didn't lose anything, and the tsunami was pretty normal. They have some really amazing alert systems for that kind of stuff. Like 5 seconds before we felt the earthquake, we immediately got like a very loud noise on my phone, a noise I'd never heard of before. I didn't know my phone could make this noise. It was so loud, and it says like earthquake coming or something, and then a few seconds later it happens. So they give you a few seconds to like, I don't know, get under furniture or stop doing what you're doing. So once you hear that, you know immediately to like stop doing something dangerous. But it was like at midnight, so the jolt of the sound was far worse than the actual earthquake, if that makes sense. But we're back. Good to be back. Just dealing with jet lag, and it's always hard to get back to your old routine. And we got stuff to do, like you know, YouTube for me, and then my wife has work, and dealing with our cats, and just getting back into the routine of like living a normal life is hard when you go from vacation mode, because vacation mode, it's like every day you wake up whenever you want, and you go out and you enjoy nice food every day. You know what I mean? So you can't live that life forever, unfortunately, unless you're rich. Stang says, "Oh man, that's crazy. I'm actually going to Japan in March. The first time I went to Japan, I experienced a small earthquake, and my phone did that alert too. Very cool, man. Yeah, it's kind of jarring. The small one is not that bad. Like I remember, like you kind of have to think about it for a second. Sometimes you're like, "Am I in an earthquake right now?" And you like kind of feel your brain shaking a little bit. This one was a definite earthquake. um, but that's cool, man. Hope you enjoy your trip in March. I'm actually, unfortunately slash fortunately, going back in February. Um, with my both of my brothers and my mom. The four of us are gonna go, uh, and it's because they've all never been, and I got roped in as like the expert because I've been there a few times. And that was kind of the only time they could go because they have children, and their children will be on spring break at that time. So one of just makes it easier for their spouses. So yeah, my family and I are gonna go in um, at the end of February and the beginning of March as well. So yeah. So if you see me walking around, feel free to say hi. Although I'm not sure where we'll be yet. We haven't really planned much. Because I was waiting for this trip to end to plan that one. So, but guys, a lot has happened in the tech world since I've left. Um, so much so that I had videos on the docket that I can no longer make. Like I had a $600 budget PC build that I was gonna do, but the idea is that it was DDR5, so it was kind of a more it costs a little bit more because it's DDR5, but the idea is that you could upgrade it easier. And so it wouldn't be like the best priced performance, but it would like make the most sense. Um, but the biggest problem is that the RAM that I bought for $90 for that build a month ago or a month and a half ago, because I buy things a little bit ahead of time, now is like 250. And so that blows the budget out of the water. And I can't make that video because now people will be mad at me. So, or call me a liar. I can show receipts of when I buy stuff, and sometimes I do, and still it won't be enough. People are like, "Why'd you make this?" I'm like, dude. So that is yeah, that sucks. So that video can't get made anymore. Sam, what's up, Sam? Hey, Jason, where have you been, man? You weren't here, but I just explained it. I've been on a vacation. I've been out of the country for the past month. Stang says this trip is going to be my first trip. I take my little one. Hopefully, she does good on the long flight. Very cool, man. Yeah, we see a lot of foreign children in Japan. It's pretty common, so you should be in good company. Dylan says ended up pulling the trigger on this deal with RAM prices and inevitable GPU RAM prices. This PC was $800. Takes close to $1,100 to build. Pretty good deal then. Yeah, with the RAM prices overnight, man, it just completely blows out so many builds. Like it's just impossible. I don't know what to do. And it's so egregious that I don't even want to make a video on it. Like during the GPU shortage, uh, during COVID, it was at least like made sense because at least you're spending the money on like a graphics card, and even though it feels bad to spend that much money on a graphics card, it feels even worse to spend that much money on RAM. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to spend $300 on 32 gigs of RAM. That's insane. Like, and I don't want to tell people to spend that much either. Jason, the Ramageddon has started. We tried to hold down the fort, but we couldn't hold on any longer. Ramageddon? Yeah, what happened? It kind of happened all at once. Like, I remember I bought that RAM a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago now. And then, like, 2 or 3 weeks later, I saw that RAM prices were getting a little bit higher, like 20, 30, 40%, right? And then in like the past 3 weeks, they were like 4x'd. What, and even used RAM, yeah. Sam can't even buy used RAM. People are buying up used RAM as well. I wonder what percentage of this is just people hoarding or trying to resell, or I don't know. Like, I have some old RAM that I'm considering selling now because it's just been sitting around, and I'm like, oh well, maybe now's the time to get rid of it. It's like server RAM, so it's not super valuable, but it probably will never have this high of a value ever again. Even if it's like DDR3. No, I think DDR3 prices are normal. It's just DDR4 and 5 that is really elevated. Nathan Tasker, what's up, man? Good day. Certainly doesn't help when one of only 3 RAM manufacturers says they won't be making commercial RAM. You know what? That does suck. And let me tell you all a story. I was actually in talks with Crucial at the time to do a video on their RAM. So right before my trip, they sent me some RAM and an SSD, saying, "Hey, can you make some YouTube Shorts for us, and we'll pay you and all that." I said, "Okay, but it's gonna have to be after my trip, once I get back." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, fine. We'll wait a little bit." And so the RAM and SSD are here, and I'm just like waiting for me to get back to make these YouTube Shorts on their products. And then they announced that stuff when I'm gone, and then they email me saying, "Hey, I don't know if you've heard the news, but Crucial is no longer a thing, so we are going to eliminate our deal because we don't need it anymore." And so if I had done the video before I left, I could have gotten paid, but because I had to wait, I didn't get paid. I mean, I didn't make the video either, so it's not that big a deal. But yeah, that sucked. I was literally in negotiation, not even negotiation. We had agreed on a deal. Well, I signed a contract and everything, but in the contract it says that they can basically cancel for whatever reason, and that's what they did. So their whole crucial department is gone, and so the marketing person probably got fired. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do from here, or maybe they moved on to just Micron. Sorry for being late. No problem, man. You're not late. Rad Robot, what's up, man? I got a really good deal on 16 gig, but I want 32. Yeah. I wonder how long this is gonna last. And yeah, it's just such a bad form to be like a DRAM manufacturer and say in the middle of a shortage to say, yeah, we're not making RAM anymore, or we're not making commercial RAM anymore. It's like, dude, that's such a nasty thing to do. You couldn't have waited a little bit. I haven't seen creators go back to Intel 12, 13, 14th gen since DDR4 is kind of manageable. Yeah, and that's ironically the DDR5 build I was talking about that I was going to make in that video is an Intel 12th gen. And the idea was that, like, yes, this isn't the Ultra series, the newest and greatest, but hey, it's still, these are great chips from those generations. And from is it Skylake? I can't remember the name. And but it was DDR5, and so the idea is that it was easy to manage. If you wanted to upgrade from a 12100F or whatever, you could go up to a 14700K, and you have DDR5 RAM. You're like ready to go. You don't have to change anything. But it's can't do it. That sucks losing the deal, bro. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. It's all good. It wasn't a life-changing amount of money, and I got to keep the RAM and the SSD. So for no work, you know what I mean? So that's nice. So I can use that in other builds. So they basically just sent me a free SSD and RAM prices are so crazy now that I could probably sell the RAM for triple what it used to cost or whatever, but I don't really like doing that. But we'll see. I'm doing good, but the RAM situation has me more bad than a BBL goth girl. I'm legit crying. AceRock is making a motherboard that supports DDR4 and DDR5. Interesting. That's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I can imagine only AceRock would do that. They have some interesting products. Like their budget line of stuff. They always have like the lowest cost of motherboards. So that's interesting. I don't even know how they would do that. If it's the same price, that's fantastic. But if it costs more to support both, it's not worth it, unfortunately. If that thing costs over like $150, I don't know. Like, I mean, if it has all the features that a $150 motherboard you'd expect from, then yeah, that's awesome. But if it's like just a cheapo motherboard that has that one feature, I don't know if it's worth it. It's a Z790 and H770. Interesting. Nathan says, sadly, I'm almost out of my DDR4. I like how we're talking about RAM like it's like a scarcity. Like, I'm almost out of my, clutching my pearls. I'm almost out of my DDR4. We need to do some deal hunting for extra RAM and storage soon. Yeah. Sam says, Jason, since you're here, I have a question to ask you. So basically, you remember the build I was going to get? Yeah, I think you posted it to the Discord. Well, due to the hurricane, it got swept away along with a close friend. Okay, sorry to hear that. Should I build an X99 PC build with a Xeon E5 2680 V4, or what should I do for my budget? It's literally 300. Maybe I can build it up to 400 before Christmas, but I don't know. You know, the X99 builds are fun to make for videos, um, but if you have more than like $200, or you have a way to make money, so whether it be from working or birthdays or whatever, I wouldn't really recommend them. They are, I would say, those builds are for people who have no way of making money. They are truly will never get another cent that they can put towards a computer. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean they don't have money and they can't make some money, but like if they have such small, what is this song? If they can't make enough money past like feeding themselves and paying their bills and stuff, so it's like, nope, I only have $200. That's not going to change. That's who I recommend X99 builds for. But if you have $300 or like you said, maybe even $400, I wouldn't go X99. Uh, just because it's like a power hog and it's those chips are old now. They're like 10, 11 years old. So if you can, try to go very early AM4. Um, there's a lot of really good used AM4 boards out there or AliExpress bundles, and you can always upgrade it down the line if you want. That's usually my recommendation. So even at $300, you can do it. My most recent video was an AM4 build, and that was using, but that apparently that bundle on it. I think once RAM prices started to go up, they took the bundle down, or they like doubled the price on it or something, which is unfortunate. But yeah, just keep an eye out. You can get a very low AM4 budget build for $300 if you wait a little bit and you buy when things are cheap. Now, if you only had $200 and you truly can't spend another penny, then yeah, an X99 would be okay. But AM4 would be ideal. Because yeah, Nathan has it. The issue with it is that it's not very energy efficient. And they are cool for sure. But it's like they're not energy efficient and you can't upgrade them and you can't, they're just kind of set in stone, right? They're just kind of set in stone. And unless you are like constantly like, tinkering with your computer, like, you want to play games. I am working, but the hurricane messed a lot of things up for me. I literally had to use my savings to help my relatives that were affected. So honestly, I'm kind of in the thick of it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, um, that's what I mean. Like, of course you have money, but I meant disposable income, right? Like people, it means they have so much money that they can spend an extra couple hundred, 500, 1,000, whatever. But for some people, they don't even have that. You know what I mean? They 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 can't add another dollar to it because things come up, they have bills to pay, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that my suggestion would just be to go AM4. You can even do like a Ryzen 5 2600 if you had to, because it's honestly not that bad still to this day. But I think now you can get like a 3600 pretty affordably. Like even brand new, sometimes you get them for like 50 or $60. So you can get it used for cheaper than that. Rad Robot says back in the Core 2 Duo days, they had motherboards that supported DDR2 and DDR3. That's so interesting. I wonder why we stopped doing that. So how does that work? I'll be honest, I don't remember a lot from DDR2 days. Did DDR2 and DDR3 have the same form factor? So like the pins are the same, so it would fit in the same slot? Because as far as I know, DDR4 and DDR5 do not. They're like a little off. Am I wrong about that? I guess I've never tried. Or maybe it just has both pinouts. Interesting. At this point, I wonder if I could find a 1080p PC built on eBay for $1 and it works perfectly as a $600 build. No, 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 no. Don't rely on that. That is nerd on a budget gooner bait, essentially. It's the kind of thing you see in a YouTube video, but doesn't actually happen in real life. So don't waste your time searching for it. But buying a used gaming PC is not the worst thing in the world. It's you can get it cheaper, honestly. Like you can go into your local marketplace, whatever they have in Jamaica, and um, somebody might be selling their old gaming computer, and it's not the end of the world. Hold on, let me turn on my noise gate because my cat is meowing. Filters, video audio effects. There we go. Let me turn the music back on. Four slots, two for DDR2 and two for DDR3. Okay, interesting. I mean, it's an interesting idea. I suppose I'd have to see how it's implemented because I don't remember from back then. I was 6 years old, so I don't know. Wasn't really looking at DDR2 or DDR3. It's mostly playing Roblox or whatever. My nephew's system has a TPM 2.0 module to hopefully help with Windows 11. Oh, because I built a system for my nephew for Christmas. A 7500, an i5 7500, 16 gigs of DDR4, 512 gig NVMe, and a GTX 1070. Hope it works well for him. That's a solid build. That's like a solid 1080p, no problem build. I'm sure I'll love it. And yeah, it has TPM 2.0. That's awesome. You're good to go. Nice one, Nathan. Reluctant here. I'm late, but welcome back. Thanks, man. Good to see you. How are you? Yeah, Facebook Market in Jamaica is more of a scam than Nvidia saying the 5070 performs like a 4090. Well, you got to find whatever the local market is then. It's also becoming a scam in America, so don't worry. You just got to be wary of it. Oh man. But I did buy something recently that y'all saw in the thumbnail that I want to make a video on. So this is that the Xbox ROG Ally, if y'all see, but this is not the X version. Hello, cat. Hold on. Got a very sad boy here. There. I don't think y'all can hear him, but he's very upset. Come here. I don't think y'all have seen this cat. He's very upset. What? Yeah, the mic is. He's meowing a lot. The mic's cutting it out, luckily. What? You want to go in here? Say hi. I think he's hungry. That's my cat Conan. He actually we imported him. Well, I don't want to say imported. We found him in China when we lived there, and then he came on a flight back with us. So I guess we imported him in a way. What was I saying? Oh yeah, this guy. So you've probably seen this, but there's two versions. There's the ROG Ally X version, which is like the stronger Z2 Extreme chip, and then there's this one, which is the R2 the Z2 Go, I think is what they call it. So the first one's the Z2 Extreme, the Z2 Go, which is more of like a Steam Deck CPU performance, so it's not as strong as the other one. But this one sold horribly. Like truly, they could not give this away because most people are like, I'll just go with the stronger one, even though it's way more expensive. And so this guy got put on sale for $489, which is still a lot for what it is, especially compared to the Steam Deck. But it had open box deals, and I was able to get it for like 430, I think, which for that price, I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, it has some advantages over the Steam Deck. It's got a 120 hertz screen, 7-inch. It's got these amazing grip. Look at this. This is what I've been begging for. If you've ever seen any of my handheld videos, I have been asking for like actual controller grips because this is it. Like holding an actual controller, it is the most comfortable handheld ever. Truly, this is what I have been asking for. The only thing that came close to it was the Legion Go, and it's still way off. And so I only got this like yesterday, so I haven't really messed with it. But it does come, and it's totally dead. It does come with Windows, but it's like that new Windows. I don't know what they call it. It's like the new Windows for handheld, so it's a little bit better. Still didn't like it, so I put Bazite on it, which is more of a SteamOS experience. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see if I like it. But I'm gonna probably make a video on it because I think MSRP was like $600, which I don't think it's worth $600. Oh my god! But for 440, maybe. Dylan says that thing is much better than the Steam Deck. Even the weaker one, Dylan. This is the weaker one. I mean, yeah, it's got better. It doesn't have better battery, actually. I don't think. But it's 1080p screen, 120 hertz screen. It's got two Thunderbolt ports, if I'm correct. Power. Is the power better? Okay. Capability, compatibility are all better. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. But I did still put Bazite on it. Yes, I'd like to hear about how Bazite runs on that. Yeah, I basically only installed Bazite and then I installed some games and I haven't even played it yet. But it installed it effectively and that's cool because I was trying for Windows and even with like the new Windows, I don't know. It's not the greatest experience. It's even the weaker one. Okay, I'm giving it a shot. So we'll see. I haven't made a handheld video in a while, so I thought it'd be fun too. Hello Kitty, who's that one? So that is Conan. His name's Conan, and he is from China. He's our all white kitty. So him and Brownie make up our yin yang. Nathan says the computer he built for his nephew was reasonably cheap. I had most of the parts on hand. I got lucky and got the 1070 from a close friend for the equivalent price of 60 USD. Very good. That's a great deal. Even in America, that's a good deal. Are you still using Linux as your day-to-day use? No. I could not. And that I don't know. I guess you weren't here for that. But like the next week after that, or maybe 2 weeks later, I said I had to put it on hold. Um, because it was just getting in the way of working, and I wasn't in the right space to like stop doing that. It makes more sense whenever people have like editors for them, but for me, like it was just slowing me down, and I like had to get some projects out, so I like had to go back to Windows. So that project is on hold for now until I am ready to try again. Um, but yeah, so I'm using Windows now. Yeah, I'm using Windows on my main PC, and then I have a laptop with it's a MacBook Air with Mac OS. So yeah, still not doing it. So I guess you can consider the Mac OS. You bought a cat from China. Damn, these Chinese sure can make everything. I didn't buy the cat in China. We found the cat in China. He was a stray, eating from a garbage can. Can you use Game Pass with Bazite? I believe so. Yeah, but it's kind of different. There's like a workaround because what is that GeForce Now? I know GeForce Now has native access to game or to SteamOS, which Bazai basically is. And as far as I know, Game Pass does not have native, but you can still use it. There's a workaround to use it. I think it's done through a browser or something, if I remember correctly. Um, but if I was primarily using Game Pass, I would stay on Windows because that's the one thing I did see that the new Windows stuff seems to work really well with Game Pass specifically. So if you have Game Pass, the Windows stuff is probably pretty good. Because as I was going through, I was like, man, this would be pretty good if I had Game Pass. Eating from a garbage can is kind of dicey for a feline in China. It's actually right on brand for a cat in China. But that was a long time ago. So he's living his best life since then. Good. Not just the streaming, but downloading the games and playing natively. No, I don't think so. I think calling it natively is not necessarily. I believe you can, but it's like weird workarounds if I remember correctly. I haven't done it in like 2 years. Last I remember though is you could play Game Pass games, but it took a lot of work. There was an official workaround for Game Pass streaming on Steam Deck, so I'm sure that would work on Bazite. Yeah, streaming I know for sure does work, but the downloading I'd have to check. It's been almost 2 years, probably more since I looked it up. Imagine waking up and hearing the cat purr Konichiwa. That'd be amazing. My cats don't wake us up and purr. They just wake up and meow to get up and feed them. Oh my gosh, I need coffee, man. Dude, jet lag is so real. I don't know if any of y'all have experienced jet lag. It's not just like, oh, my sleep schedule's messed up. It's more than a sleep schedule thing. It is like um it just messes with your sleep during the day too. Like you'll be awake. You'll like let's say you sleep 12 hours, right? And you'll be awake for 4 or 5 hours and you're fine. And then you just get like random bouts of sleepiness where you cannot stay awake anymore and your body is just so confused. So you're like sleeping throughout the day just randomly and just doing all kinds of just weird sleep stuff. It's not just the schedule, it's just about like weird sleep habits or like little naps here and there, or like your normal sleep gets interrupted or it goes way too long. It's a nightmare. Wait, you were actually allowed to export slash import a cat? Yes. Um, so importing a cat into China is kind of difficult. They have a lot of rules about it. But exporting a cat not as difficult. We still had to go to the government and get some paperwork. Uh, they have specific rules about it. We had to go to like government buildings and fill out a few forms and stuff like that and get him in some shots and stuff. But surprisingly, importing a cat into America is the easy part. They didn't even look at his papers, his shots. No quarantine in America. Like for dogs, it's way more difficult, mostly because of rabies. Uh, because dogs are often walking outside, but cats are usually indoors. So cats, they're just like, yeah, go ahead. They don't care. Like we just brought him right in. No one cared. But yeah, he had some export papers and he sat on the plane with me under my seat and meowed for 12 hours, and it was the worst flight of my life. But he's here. Hey Jason, do you think F5700G will run good on Bazite for gaming? Um, I believe so. Yeah, Bazite has way better compatibility with stuff than SteamOS does, surprisingly. Um, but I think even SteamOS would be okay for 5700G if I remember correctly. Wait, no, I'm wrong. Never mind. Don't do that. Bazite should be okay. Bazite does generally work for almost everything, which is surprising. Um, so yeah, I think you'd be okay. I was even able to run like Arc GPU, AMD GPU, just off the CPU normally. So I don't see why a 5700G wouldn't work. It might be like the best way to do it. That's wild. Zero issues coming to the US. There's not. It's not that there wasn't any issues with Left Hero. There was nothing. Like truly, when we came into the US, um, we had the cat in hand, and we went to like the special area where it's like, hey, do you have an animal? Come this way, And they're like, is that a dog or a cat? We're like, it's a cat. They go, okay, you're good, and then just sent us our way. So any of the paperwork we had, the U.S. Customs didn't even care about. So it wasn't that it wasn't an issue. It was like nothing. Like we literally just walked in. So apparently they mostly only care if it's a dog, but if it's a cat, uh, and it's like with you, they don't care apparently. I think certain states have things like maybe they require certain things, but it's really hard to upkeep that, especially if you're flying into another state. Because we flew into California, and then took a flight from California to Texas later. It's a little bit different, but I don't think Texas had any rules either. So it wasn't the end of the world, but it was super no issues whatsoever on the American side. We just had to do some paperwork in China to get it out of the country. And even then, they didn't seem to care either. They didn't like we went to a government building there, and they didn't even know the proper procedure, which tells you that no one actually does it. It's just something their rules that they don't really follow, but we wanted to have it just in case, but it seemed like no one really cared. Texas doesn't give a damn. Yeah, I don't think they care. As long as it's dogs. Like apparently it's like dogs is the big issue that they really really care about because of rabies, and um I think they might require some kind of quarantine or something for dogs. But for cats, yeah, I was just yeah, go on in, whatever. I would say why China won't allow you to export the dogs, but I don't want to get you in trouble. Uh, no, it's mostly because of rabies, I believe, and because people walk dogs outside. Um, I know Japan has import regulations as well. If you import a cat or a dog into Japan, there is a mandatory 30-day quarantine where they will take your animal and put it in their little zone and take care of it for a month. Um, so that sucks, but that's part of the system. And you have to have like specific shots done beforehand. You have to prove it, and you have to do like a bunch of paperwork. So it's different depending on the country. But in America, yeah, it's just yeah, you just bring them on in. Just bring them on in. And so yeah, he's been here with us since then. So I was saying, Jason, on some different level adoption. Well, I didn't go to China to find a cat. I was in China, and I was living in China. We found a cat. So and I could have rehomed him in China if I really wanted to, but uh, you know, cat had his family, so he came back with us, and it was stressful because it was also part of us just moving in general. So we had a bunch of large luggages with us as well. So we were basically everything we owned to try to fit into a couple of luggages, and then had the cat. So it was pretty stressful, but got it done. Texas as a whole doesn't give a damn anything unless it's Texas. It could be very true. The cat's here. Hey, buddy. What's your head? Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. This one's American born and bred. I guess. I don't know. I assume. We found him here. But so I can only assume he's American. Oh. I have a very good story for y'all. This is something that I've been dealing with. Okay. Yeah, it's Brownie. Hey, Brownie. Hey, buddy. We get a drink, and then I will tell the story. It's just outside. Brownie has another chat. Hi, Brownie. Okay, so in August or possibly September, a company who will not be named reached out to me to offer a sponsorship. Say, hey, we want to do a video um, talking about a desk. So this is a standing desk company. Again, not saying names. And they said, we'll pay you X amount of money. We will send you the desk. You can make a little video about your setup, whatever. Pretty standard for tech YouTubers, right? He said, okay, sure, send it. We hash out the deal. Takes about a week or two for the desk to get here, and it's like 7 boxes. It literally all of the boxes are taking up so much room because it's a massive desk. It's like an L-shaped desk, and it's all metal, and so they're heavy. So they're crowding my living room for like a month. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna. I told them I'm like, I can't get to this for a little bit. I'm working on other stuff, but in October, I'll take care of it. And the deadline was at the end of October. The voice changer's on. I'm starting to think it's the microphone. Is that better? Because whenever I unplug and replug the mic, it seemingly fixes. So it's either the microphone or it's the plug. Because this is the same USB. Because this is a different computer. Does that sound better? Okay. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate it. You sure there's a desk in them boxes? Yes. So it since September, the video was scheduled to be released at the end of October. So mid October, I'm like, after a month of having these boxes in my home, I'm like, okay, time to get to this video. And open all the boxes, and I pay my friend to assemble it because it was a lot of work. And the problem is that the desk is so large that I needed to move my desk out of the way. And so basically my desk was in shambles. And so I removed all my computer, all my stuff, and I pushed the desk out of the way on the other side of the room. So the room is incredibly crowded. The desk gets built finally, and there's 2 desks in here, and there's just no room for anything. It's chaos. Okay, I know it doesn't. It sounds like chaos, but it's like the desk is so large that it's like impossible to get the camera in here even because the other desk was in here. It was a mess, right? But the idea was that we build the desk, put all the crap on the desk, and then I can get rid of the old desk. Okay. Um, so assembled it. Desk did not work. So it's a standing desk, and it means it has motors, and the motors did not work. The desk would not go up. It would like kind of, and no matter what I fiddled with or did, nothing worked. Okay. Told the company, it's like, hey, this doesn't work. Maybe a cable is bad or a leg is bad. Let's fix this out. Emailed my contact and got, remember, this is after a month of having the boxes in my home. Got a mailer daemon email back, which, if you're unfamiliar, means that the email that you're emailing does not exist anymore. So the person, the contact that I was with at the company, I'm assuming maybe he quit or he got fired or something because his email was gone and it was a Gmail account. And so if anyone here has worked at a competent company, you know you don't do that. Even if an employee gets terminated, you don't delete their email because you want to keep their emails and you want anyone who emails them to go on to like someone else. Like you pass it off to someone else at the company. So I'm like I have no recourse. I have this broken thing in my room. I have no one else to contact at the company. I'm like, what is going on? So I contact their support, their like tech support, and I'm like, hey, here's the deal. I was talking to this guy. I don't know where he is. His email doesn't work anymore, and the desk doesn't work. What do I do? Can you send me some kind of leg? Because I, I still the desk. The desk not being built properly, not working means my room is in disarray. I don't have a computer because it needs to go on this desk, and the support is like, you didn't buy this desk. I'm like, yes, I know. I got it from you, from your company, from the marketing. I don't have a receipt. And they're like, well, we can't send you anything without the receipt. I'm like, but I didn't buy it. I'm like, figure it out. And so I give them all the information. They're like, okay, we'll talk to our manager and we'll get back to you. A few days later, the original guy I was talking to emails me from a different email saying, hey, our support came to me and told me you're having issues with the desk. What's going on? I'm like, where the hell were you? What happened to your email? He's like, yeah, I had to switch emails. I'm like, so you deleted your original email? You didn't tell me? You didn't tell anyone? You just deleted it? It didn't even like forward to the new email. As soon as he made a new email, he deleted his old one. And he didn't tell me. So I had no way of contacting him. I'm like, that is incredibly unprofessional. Like, what are you doing? I could not believe it. I'm like, that's so incompetent. Like, sorry. And I'm not blaming him directly. I'm blaming his company, really, because he's just an employee. Okay. But okay. Now I'm back in contact with him and I tell him, Des isn't working. Your support wasn't helpful. Go through all the troubleshooting steps again. It's really simple, straightforward. Plug it in, unplug it. None of it worked. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe just one of the legs because it has three motorized legs. Okay. And I'm like, maybe one of the legs is broken. Can you just send me one leg and I can go through and try to fix it? Uh, and he was, yeah, yeah, sure. We'll send you a new leg. Uh, doesn't send me a new leg. Sends me a whole new table, top to bottom, another 7 boxes. Okay, so that means wood, top, and all. Okay. What's up, Rob? No problem. You're late. I'm in the middle of a story. You'll have to rewind to see it. Um, so now I have all those boxes are in my house again. This is another. It takes like a week and a half to get there. And remember when I said my room was in disarray, and uh, meaning I had to like put my computer on top of the broken desk just because I needed something, and so it was temporarily there, but it was like just not the best setup. Uh, so that was a mess, right? And now we're in uh, early November, okay, and and uh, and things are just all over the place. And I'm just like, okay, the second desk is here. I need to figure this out. And so I don't want to build a whole second desk because truly there was no room for it and it would take forever. I wanted to just replace the legs of the desk that I have, which is hard, but it's easier than building from scratch. And so I take off all the wood tops of the desk. Again, I move my computer off, move it to the other side of the room. It's chaos. Okay, pull and I pull out. They sent me the wood top and everything, but again, I don't need that. I just need the motorized legs. And so I unpull everything. I get ready. I'm like, all right, let's test this out. And I'm like, you know what? Before I undo everything, I should test the legs before the tabletop goes on top of them. So I set them up separately with their own motor and their own thing. Like I took all that out and pretended as if it was a tabletop. Same issue. So I used the 3 legs that I got in the new packaging with the new motor, with the new controller, still the same issue. I then took like 2 hours to individually swap every single cable with the new and the old, every single leg. So like let's say 2 new leg, one old one, two old one new, 2 3 3 2 1 2 2. Tried every combination I could. Used both combinations of the controllers, both combinations of the motor remote box, Nothing would work. Truly could not get it to work. And I remember I have all these boxes here, and this room is in chaos, like trying to figure this out. I'm like, dude, I'm going on a trip in a few weeks. I was hoping to get this done before I leave. And the second order they sent me did not work. I'm like, this is it's insane because it takes so long to get here. And I emailed them again. I'm like, dude, this is not working. You've now sent me 2 desks that don't work. Um, I can't finish this video by what you said. And I told them that from the start. I'm like, I'm leaving on this day for my trip. If it's not done by then, it's not going to get done. And so they're again, oh, I'm sincerely sorry. I don't know. I think they try to gaslight me into thinking it's my fault, but it's not. Like saying I'm doing something wrong. But let me tell you, it doesn't take a technical person to put the desk together. There is no way to do it wrong. It's kind of like put the red color pipe into the red color pipe hole. You know what I mean? Yellow and yellow, green and green, red and red. Like there's no way to do it wrong. It truly is. You just do it. It's one of those. So it was a simple motor setup, I'll admit that. But there's no way to mess it up. You just do it. Okay. I'm like, okay, well, I can't do this. I need to go on my trip. So they're like, okay, sorry about that. We'll send you another desk. I'm like, please don't send me another desk. I don't have room for it. There's so many boxes here now and just metal parts everywhere. I have piles of metal parts and tabletops. I'm like, we'll do it again. Send me just the legs. That's all I want. Don't send me another tabletop. But I can't get it done before my trip. It's not happening. He's like, okay, we'll schedule it for the end of December. So this has been pushed back for 2 or 3 months. And I'm like, that's fine. And so they send it. The legs did get here before I leave for my trip, but it was like the day before, and I'm like way too preoccupied. I'm working on my stuff, like getting ready for a trip. So it just sat here, and I was on my trip for a long time, and I came back a few days ago, and that was the first thing I did. Is actually like after I got settled, I'm like, you know what? Let's make sure this works. And I went through everything, and I got out the new legs. So this is the third set of legs. Okay, pulled them out, plugged them in, tested them. Doesn't work. That's three sets that this doesn't work, and my room is still in disarray. And I contact them, and I'm like, dude, I can't make this video anymore. I I I understand one, things happen. I understand things are DOA. That's part of electronics. Even twice, sometimes you get a 1 in a million chance it happens. But when there's 3 in a row sent to the influencer who's trying to advertise your product, you probably want to send your best stuff, right? How how could I recommend that to anyone? You know what I mean? Like, how can I make a video on something that I now don't believe in? Because if you told me I bought 3 of something and all 3 were broken, I can't stand behind that. And so basically, I told them, I'm like, I don't want this anymore. I can't make this video because this sucks. You've wasted 3 months of my life and so much room. Uh, and the worst part about, of course, I'm not going to get paid. That sucks. But the worst part about it is that now all this is junk. The legs are not useful because they're broken. So it's just heaps of scrap metal and heaps of just wood that's just going to get tossed out. Like I can donate it, but they don't work, right? Like they just don't work. The tabletops are fine. I think someone could put the tabletops to good use. And I think if I put them outside, somebody would take them. But the rest of it is just basically scrap metal and motors and broken stuff. So I'm looking into how I can give that to someone so they can recycle it. But it's all very heavy. Each leg is like 20 pounds. And remember I have 9 legs. So and they take up so much space. I don't know how to deal with it. Um, so yes, not getting paid, not getting a new desk, have to deal with the leftovers, and it's very very annoying. Then yeah, 3 month saga where I haven't really had my desk, really. Um, I'm on a temporary desk right now. You can see my real desk is back there still because I haven't had time to fix it. Um, so I had to tell them, it's not working out. Sorry, this sucks. And they were uh, understandable. I think they were more annoyed by me because they don't believe me. I think they think I'm lying or I'm stupid because in there I'm like, you have a major issue at your factory. If I got three of them and they're all broken, something's wrong. And he's like, there's nothing wrong. I'm like, dude, there's no way. There's no way I got three broken ones. Something is wrong. I wonder if he thought I was like lying to get three free desks. I'm like, dude, this is a burden. The desks are so large that it is truly just a burden to have them. So now I just have piles of metal and wood around my home that I need to get rid of, and I haven't figured out how. And I need to get my desk back in normal array. So yeah, that's the story about that. So another lost sponsor, but it was kind of my own doing, I suppose. But like, how can I recommend a product that I now don't trust? Because after hearing that I got three defective ones, how could I recommend that to people? Because I wouldn't buy it at this point. You know what I mean? So it's you sign an NDA. I didn't sign an NDA. I mean, I don't think I did. I signed a contract. I'd have to go through and look at it. The thing is, these companies are never based out of America. So even if I said anything, um, it's not like they could sue me, right? But it just, I don't want to be a creator who trashes companies, right? Like I never want to be that kind of creator. I want to give them second chances, third chances, and so I don't want to close the door on anything, and I don't want to close the door for y'all either, because there have been many times where maybe I don't like a company or don't like a product, but then many people in the comments will be like, "I like that company, I like that product. Maybe this is just you," and and that's fair. You know what I mean? So if people have this desk company, it's not not the end of the world. I will say the desk was easy to assemble and not easy like it's because everything was so heavy. I would say it wasn't complicated. It was surprisingly simple. The instructions are good, and the desk was made out of good quality. It was very heavy metal. The tabletops were real wood, so they were heavy. It wasn't that crap that's like cardboard. You know what I mean? Um, and so that's why it's a shame that it didn't work. It truly is just a quality control issue, and that's frustrating. Yeah, I'm not sure what I signed. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know what? I did tell them. I'm like, hey, just so you know, I'm not expecting payment from you, but I wasted a lot of time on this, so I might still make a video talking about my experience, but it won't be sponsored, and that means you can't control what I say. You know what I mean? So basically, it's like me saying I'm gonna tell people about what happened here, and they didn't openly say no. They're just like, well, can you hold off on that because we're gonna look into what happened here, and hopefully we can get you an answer. Basically saying like, give us some time so we can have a good response, just in case. So I think at that time, if they give me a good enough response, maybe I'll make a video on it and I'll talk about who it was. But there's only so many standing desk companies, so y'all could just, I'm sure you could figure it out. It's not trashing if you say X brand sent me three defective products, buy everywhere. I know. I agree, but I still want to wait to see what they say. I want to give them a chance because the guy was the marketer I spoke to was never rude. I will say, and and outside of the email thing, which was a bit incompetence on the company, not the marketer, uh, they were understanding. I mean, they did send me three desks, right? And the desk is not cheap. The standing desks are not cheap. This is a big desk. So that's like couple $100 each time, plus the shipping costs. So they lost money on this situation. Even though they didn't pay me the fee, right? They did lose money. So, you know, Pure up, Jason, you'll get a major sponsor soon, man. Pray you do. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I have some people lined up. The problem is that a lot of the sponsors who email me are like just trash, man. Um, like AI companies and sketchy people who they just want free advertising, right? Like they're like, "Oh, we respect you and love your content, but not enough to give you money." What? Or they'll say things like, one guy recently was like, "Yeah, this is our first collaboration, so we don't want to pay you anything. Maybe in the future." And what they always say is any YouTuber can tell you this. What they'll say is that we want a long collaboration. What ultimately means that they're trying to say we don't want to pay you now, but we might pay you in the future. They never do. Um, but one of them, I'm like, dude, this is the third video I've made for you. What are you talking about? That time is now. Mr. C&D in the chat, longtime member of the channel. What's up, dude? How are you, brother? You guys see that little icon next to Mr. C&D's face? That's me with blonde hair and blonde beard. It's the golden Jason, and he gets that because he's a member. He's the OG member. But yeah, so that's the death story. As soon as I hit this, my headphone died. There we go. So yeah, I need to get my desk into a better standard after all that. Sponsor these nuts? Oh hell yeah, dude. No, that's what happens when Jason goes further beyond PC Builder. We'll see. I want to set a lofty goal for 2026 of hitting 100K subs. And I think to do that, some changes need to get made. Uh, One, I need to make more videos because I've been pretty slacking on that. Um, I need to make more videos, and I need to make more content that has the possibility of going viral. So as much as we like PC builds, they don't go viral, right? Because they're just PC builds. Like they do good. I like them. I like doing them, and people like them. But they have a top out in terms of views. So I need to think of ideas and go kind of above and beyond for videos that are open to a broader audience that are more likely to click on it. And I thought for sure the video about piracy would go viral. If y'all saw, I had a video about pirated games a few weeks ago. I thought that for sure would go viral, but what ended up happening is that it got a lot of views from people outside of the subscriber base, and all of those people downvoted the video. Like it has an incredible downvote ratio, uh, and the comments are just full of losers. Like that's the only way I can say it. There are people who are like, not only do they pirate games, which is fine, they also have a chip on their shoulder about it. So they think they're like modern day Robin Hoods. So a lot of them came in, and I have all this in the data. This isn't my opinion. Here's the data. The data is that a lot of people from outside the channel and outside of my, what's it called, like global audience, a greater audience, they came in, said some stupid little quippy thing in the comments, downvoted the video, and left. And generally, it's something pro piracy because at the start of the video, I make a joke saying that piracy is wrong. They only watched that, left a nasty comment, downvoted, and then left. And so it did go to a greater audience for a little bit, but like they, it just didn't, it didn't go beyond that because of those people. So I thought more people who didn't pirate games would watch the video because it'd be interesting, but all it was people who do pirate games watching the video, and that didn't help, right? I thought for sure that video was going to do really well. I've been sitting on that video for months. It was an idea I had like a year ago, and I'm like, and I had someone make the thumbnail for it because I'm like, this is going to be the one. This is it, and it wasn't. Um, so I probably won't make any more content about pirated games because it's not the kind of audience I want, to be honest. What kind of skibbity toilet people be doing that crap, Jason? It's pirates, man. I don't know. Like and it wasn't like it's not about the pirated games. It's like they were people who think that they are entitled to free things. Like they're people. I think if you can't afford to buy video games and so you steal them, just say that. Like, hey, why'd you steal that game? Oh, because I'm poor. Okay, that's fine. Don't try to turn it into some noble cause. Yeah, I steal everything, like, because I'm modern day Robin Hood. Like, shut up, dude. Just say you steal it because you don't have the money, or just say because you don't want to pay the money. Like, that's okay too. Don't try to turn your crime into like a noble act. I'm stealing bread and giving it to the poor. It's like, shut up. You're stealing a game. Relax. You're not V for Vendetta, dude. You're not him. Lord, I hope Jason has a banger 2026, man. He unlocks PC Builder 3 at last. Me too, man. My goal for 2026 is to hit 100,000 subs, which means I would have to hit nearly four times my subscriber right now. And it's possible for sure, but it's like unlikely. But I'm gonna make some changes around here to my workflow and maybe put some more money into stuff and see if I can make more videos and I don't know, see what we can do. That's my goal. Maybe need to invest some money into certain things, or just work more, or just be less lazy. I don't know. We're gonna have to grind hard for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just gonna be have to grind, and I gotta get some better ideas. I gotta think more. I gotta spend more time on writing and editing, and just make better stuff, and care more about the analytics. I can't just make stuff I want to make anymore. Like I have to find the perfect combo of stuff I like to make and stuff people like to watch, and then put them. Hopefully, there's something in the middle there. But then there's also easy to make, right? While I would prefer easy to make, that's not necessarily what goes viral either. So we'll see. But I appreciate everyone here who's been along for the ride, because you guys have been great. I still love making videos. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It's so fun. Yeah. So like I said earlier, the PC build I was going to do is now canceled because DDR5 prices are up, and it would be a stupid video. So I think the next video is going to be on the B580, kind of a later retrospective on the card. Not a viral type of video, but we'll see. Probably just doing some benchmarks of it, and then I don't really have much planned after that. Let me see what I have. Usually I write down my ideas here. That's all I have. I've been preoccupied with our trip, so I don't have much on the docket. And that the crucial deal fell through and the desk deal fell through. Those two were on the docket, and so they both kind of went poof in a matter of days. So now all I have on the docket is a B580 video and a video about this guy. So I might just take tomorrow and just bang it out, just write like crazy and get my thoughts out. Nathan says, I'm hoping that 2026 is your best year yet on YouTube. You deserve to be a much bigger channel. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You guys are cool. I like doing the live streams because people are nice. I've stopped responding to a lot of comments on the channel. Most of them are very nice, for sure. 99% very nice. Okay, no, sorry, I take that back. 90% are very nice. And so I read them all and I appreciate them, but I don't like respond anymore. Just because it takes up a lot of time, to be honest. So I'd say 90% are very nice. 9% are very dumb, but not necessarily like malicious. It's kind of like people just saying something stupid or asking a question that they can easily Google, which is fine. That's not a negative, but and then 1% are malicious. So it's a pretty good ratio. Just do what you always do and do a budget PC build with the RAM prices. No, I can't do that, Sam. That's they don't like that. People don't like that. I'm telling you. You guys have no idea. If I put out a PC build and if the number in the video does not match the number in the description, I get crucified. People literally downvote the video because they think I'm lying. Because what ends up happening is that I will buy a product at the like let's say it's at the start of November and it takes 2 weeks to get here and I wait 2 weeks to start the video and then I release the video 3 weeks after that, and so now it's been a month and a half since I bought the product and the price has gone up or changed or it's just gone. People don't like that. Like literally so many comments are like, you're clickbaiting, that product never existed for that price, you photoshopped the picture in the in the video. Like they don't like that. And so like I want to, if I'm going to do PC builds, it needs to be fast because it needs to be it needs to be at least similarly priced as whenever the video was made. Um or I need to create a story for it, because if this is not a here's a guide on how you can do it, what is it, right? Is it just like here's how I did it and you're too stupid to just copy what I did? Like I don't know. You know what I mean? That's I need to find a story to go along with it. Maybe I just make up people. Yeah, I'm making this PC for my little nephew. He's 2. This is for a 2-year-old and I wanted to save money. Here's what I did. Not necessarily what you should do. Man, if they are treating you like this, I can only imagine Mr. Beast with his clickbait thumbnails. Oh yeah. But yeah, you all have to remember it is a very, very small portion. It's a very small portion. 90% of the comments are very nice or neutral. Like they're just talking about computers or they're talking about the video or they're talking about whatever. Totally fine. There's 10% that I would call uh stupid or malicious, which is like people mad about prices being bad or the content not being good or whatever. It's like a really good ratio. PC per 2-year-old? I don't know, man. Like whatever. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I just make it up. Mr. C&D says, you are right there. Just something needs to click and you're going to get the success you deserve. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I will fight off the brain rotters and their 6'7" bullcrap. 6'7", these nuts, boy. Maybe you need a separate channel for the viral stuff. I'm not sure your core stuff is compatible with the brain rot stuff that the masses like, but what do I know? I'm not a YouTuber. I understand where you're coming from. When I say viral, I don't mean viral like brain rot or like Mr. Beast. When I say viral, I just mean gets a lot of views. um, because you're right. It's not compatible with what I do. Basically, like it's very unlikely for somebody doing benchmarks of like a new graphics card to get 1 million views. And it's not because the graphics card is bad. It doesn't mean the benchmarks are bad. It doesn't mean anything. Like it truly is that there are not 1 million people willing to click on that video because that's very specific data they need. And I'm glad the data exists and I'm glad someone's doing it, but in reality it's very hard to get 1 million views on a video like that. So whenever I say viral, I mean a video that is um, open-ended enough so that more people are willing to watch it, right? And that's why we see like Nerd on a Budget. If you like hit his videos, the ones that do the best are never PC builds. They're never like stuff that he's just doing in his room. It's always when he goes out into public and talks to people. And that's because those videos are open to a variety of people. It tells a really good story. He's interacting with the world. He's going out and doing things. There's like a linear narrative to it. It's like a really good, easy watch, even if you don't know much about computers, right? And so those are the types of videos that I would call viral potential. Like I've learned that people like when you go out into the world. So if y'all have seen a lot of like, we'll say TikToks or YouTube shorts, and people are doing something that they could very easily do in their bedroom, right? They go outside and do it. Now, why is that? Like, why are they doing something outside? They could very, very easily do this inside. Well, it's because people like outside. Like, they want you to go outside. They want you to go do stuff. They want you to mix it up and like enter the world and interact with people because they like that because it makes them feel less lonely and stuff. You know what I mean? And so I need to figure out how to bring that kind of energy into my videos because right now all my videos are primarily like just sitting in my office and um I mean that can get done. You can do that, but there needs to be some kind of other element to it that makes it more interesting where I'm either doing something no one's ever done before or I'm doing something surprising or has a good story or something. You know what I mean? Like these are the things that make a really viral potential video. Um, but it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't kind of go with the core concept of what I've been doing, which is primarily entertaining a small niche of or niche of people who like PCs, but they also like them affordably with PP jokes, right? You know what I mean? So it's just interesting. Uh, but speaking of a second channel, I would like to make a second channel, but I'm already having a hard time making enough content for one channel, and so I wouldn't be able to keep up with two. Um, but I do want to make a dumping ground for a second channel where I would put videos that like I know would never do well on this channel. Um, because they're like it would be more for the core audience. It'd be for like you guys. Like it would be primarily videos that are like less edited, more off the cuff, just kind of like I have a bunch of content from my trips to Taiwan and Japan that I would love to edit together, but they're just kind of like random clips. And it's a lot of technology stuff, but it's like a random audience wouldn't care because they don't care about me, right? Like there are some videos that only work because you care about the person. Like think about like uh what's that guy's name? The guy from Austin Evans. Not Austin Evans, the other guy. Ken. He has a video of him going through a Japanese tech mall, right? Do you think people watch that for Ken? No, they watched it for the tech mall, right? But there is a subsection of his audience that really like him, like truly really like him. And if he did a video that was just him talking to the camera about something that was less popular, there would be a very select few who would watch it, but they would love it. And it would be really good content to them because they are really into him, right? And so that's the kind of video I want to make on a second channel where it's not designed to get views. It's only designed to appeal to, I guess, dedicated fans or hardcore fans or whatever. I've considered making that members only videos on this channel to try to reward the members because we don't have very members right now. I think we only have two or three, and I feel like I don't reward them in any way other than by saying thank you at the end of the video. So I would really like to keep that up, and so I might do that, and so make more members only videos uh, to encourage more people to become members, and then to reward the ones that are members. Does that make sense? This is all boring YouTube stuff though. Like I'm just working through it myself. Did y'all see that my light changed? This was blue and now it's green, and I didn't touch it. This doesn't have a remote. It has a physical thing on it, and it somehow turned to green on its own. Curious. We get some comment moderators. Maybe that will help against the malicious comments. I mean, people are going to leave malicious comments. It's not the end of the world. I'm truly not that put off by it. It's going to happen. It's just part of it. There's nothing you can do. It will always be there. And YouTube does do a good job of like automatically cutting out the worst of the worst because there's like a little fold where it's like, hey, do you want to look at the comments we blocked? They're pretty bad. And you click it, it's like, are you sure? This is like some really vile shit. And you click yes. And they're right. It is truly vile stuff. And so I don't click on that button anymore. But they do a good job of like cutting out the worst of the worst. Like truly, like, why did you come here and comment that? Oh my gosh. You could always become a man of the people like Nobe. I don't have that in me. I don't have that kind of charisma. Nobe has it very good. When we were at LTX 2 years ago, I'm not good in front of a camera. I'm not good in front of people. Danny's got it in spades. That's what he's really good at. So it's something I need to become better at. Uh, and I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to do content like Danny where I'm like talking to people. But I do want to make more content where I'm like out and about or doing something like that. And I think hiring someone to record for me might be helpful as well. Because right now I do everything myself, and I think it'd be more interesting to have someone hold the camera. So I'm looking into that as well. I still say a series where you buy an older PC and upgrade it until it gets stupid, especially how now that DDR5 RAM costs your soul. That would be a good uh, idea for a members only video. I like the idea of it, but the problem is that like you have to watch from the start to care, right? Like what if I'm like 5 videos deep? It gets kind of muddied, right? So it might be a good idea for a video for the diehards. It could be fun. It's on the docket. I have it written down, Dylan. Eki City has done several series as a $100 PC upgrade challenge. This is a great idea for me to consider. I'll look into it. Yeah, it's on my list. So show the marketplace buying and show the people stories that you buy from if they're interesting. That's what Danny does. It blows my mind. Like Danny, he has videos that literally it's just him going to buy stuff on Facebook Marketplace and then going home. That's the video, and he talks to the seller. That's the whole video, and I'm just like, in my mind, first of all, I'm like, why are people watching this? And not because Danny's content's bad, but I mean, like, why do people want to watch someone else buy something? And then second, I see so many views, and I watch the video, and I'm like, okay, I understand why people watch this. It's because um, we're lonely. Like, truly, we are lonely, especially as men, and I think especially as like tech losers. And it's fun to see. It's fun to yuck it up in person with people who share your hobbies, and that's what Danny's doing in those videos. And that's fun to watch and to interact with, and to pretend like we are the ones there. You know what I mean? Um, it's interesting. And Danny's does a really good job of keeping a good conversation going, even though these are complete strangers, and keeping it flowing and asking the right questions, and like does a good job of introducing it. He does a good job of following it up at the end of the video. So like it's interesting how you can make a whole YouTube video that gets 500,000 views about going to buy a graphics card from a dude in a parking lot. You know what I mean? It's interesting. It's really amazing. But that's not the kind of content I want to do. But I do kind of want to incorporate some of it into it, if that makes sense. And of course, if you want to grow, there's always the Whitmer foot cam. Then the sky is the limit. Careful, and you might make Nob appear. No, Nob is busy this weekend. He had his LAN party. Dylan, oh, W membership. What's up, Dylan? Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it. Super nice of you. Dylan became a member. Welcome to the Megatech fan. Appreciate it, man. Dylan, that means you get a shout out at the end of videos. You know, there's this guy. He's called Better Watch TV. It's a YouTube channel who does um, basically information about Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad videos. And his whole channel, he has so many members. And I think it's because he will literally say the members' names at the end of the video. Like he doesn't just say like, here are all the members and puts it up on like he literally reads it. He sits there and reads their names. Like Kevin, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. He spends like 3 minutes reading the names of anybody who's new, I believe, or anyone who's been there for like 6 months or something. And he will literally spend a few minutes just reading names. And man, he has so many members, like thousands. Like it's just crazy how a channel of that size has so many members. I don't know what he's doing because he doesn't really do members only videos, really. It's just crazy. I don't know if it's those reasons that people like the in-person buys. I think people really want to do this, but are scared or don't know how to start. It gives them hope to start their own journey. That too. That is very true, Dylan. I apologize for not saying that. And that's why we, let's be honest, it's why we all watch budget PC builds. We all have a hankering. We want to watch, we want to do it ourselves. We want to build PCs ourselves. We want to go out and we want to yuck it up with people. We want to buy parts and like get the good deal and do all that stuff because that's fun for us because that's what we do. But not everyone has the time or the money or the motivation. So you like live vicariously through the creator doing what you want to do, right? Very true. That's actually very true. Welcome from one and only Dylan, also buying food with his bottomless stomach. That Better Watch TV guy, I don't know if y'all have seen that channel. Like, man, he has so many. He reads them off. It's crazy. Maybe I should start doing that. The songs are copyright. Yeah, I want to build my PC myself too, man. I need to try before 2026 comes. Yeah, exactly. People want to build the PCs, they want to play with them, they want to be a part of that. Like I get it. Like it's fun. It's fun for everyone. Like we all have very specific hobbies. It's like a niche within a niche. Like, but yeah, going out and like seeing how to do it. Like the Facebook Marketplace stuff, I've seen from a lot of comments on Danny's videos that um they don't live in a place where that's possible. Like a lot of people, especially Americans, they live in the middle of nowhere. Like truly, their Facebook Marketplace, like the closest stuff they have is like a 1 to 2 hour drive away. I'm like, that's nuts. Like I can't imagine living so far from civilization that you have to drive 2 hours to find something to buy. That's nuts. Especially considering it'd probably be on a freeway, so you're driving like a while. Yeah. I wanted to subscribe for a bit, but you hadn't made any videos in a while, and I was worried that you fell off like Ostox Hardware. True, true. No problem, man. I totally get that. I I was on a pause for a little bit, kind of putting some new stuff together. That's why, like this year, I want to. Here's my goal. My goal is to make at least 50 videos next year. So that would be about one a week if I can. That's the goal. But I want to do also at least 50 shorts. And so the goal is to at least do one video a week on average, or, so not or, and one short a week, no matter how uh, mundane. And so I'm looking into that, and I just need to do it. Like it truly is like I just need to put in the work. I need to just grind and just do it. Mr. C&D says that's how it is for me. Small town nowhere. Yeah, it's very common. I've seen it so many, and that's why they love watching that because they're watching Danny do an experience that is just not easy for them. Like truly, they just can't do it. Anything new with your home lab? Good question, Stang. I have actually migrating my home lab to a new system soon. I'm waiting on the motherboard. So what ended up happening is that right after that last home lab video, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do a new system, and I had my HP Z440 sitting over from that gaming video. Do you remember that? I had used an HP Z440, and it had the Xeon CPU. Just to see if I could, I took my home lab, which is TrueNAS scale on an SSD, 5 hard drives, and I put it all into that machine and 2 NVMe drives. And I didn't have to pay any extra money. So I put my 10 gig NIC in there because it's a workstation. It has tons of PCIe lanes. So I was able to put my 10 gig NIC in there. I was able to put a bifurcated NVMe splitter. What is that called? The basically converts a PCIe lane into 2 NVMe drives, and through bifurcation was able to get that working on there. And a GPU for just headless mode, and that all fit no problem. And I put it in there just to see, and the drives fit because it fits a couple of drives in there already, and then there's like a spot for more. I 3D printed something, and then I just kind of forgot about it, and I realized I'm like, dude, this is pretty good. Like I can't believe this is working. Obviously, my power bill will be a slightly higher because the chip is a higher TDP than my last one. But I'm like, dude, this is like $100 machine running my whole home lab. What am I doing? Just kind of left it, and so it actually has been sitting in an HP Z440 for like 3 months now, I think, or right after I did the last home lab video. That was basically what happened, and so my home lab has been $100 PC, if you can believe it or not, with the add-on cards, of course. I already had them though. Like I had a 10 gig NIC already. I had that NVMe thing, um, but I am gonna move it into a new system, uh, mostly because I am planning to run Home Assistant soon, and I'm thinking I'm gonna move. And with Home Assistant, I'm actually going to be running my own local uh, large language model. So the idea is that I would like to have my own in case I need to use a model for anything that's personal. So like I don't want to be feeding personal data into ChatGPT or whatever. So I'd like to have my own model to randomly use sometimes, but nothing crazy. I don't need it. I'm not doing anything too big. It's mostly small stuff, and I mostly want to create um, my own like Google Siri Alexa thing. Um, and the idea is that instead of asking Google Assistant, I would ask my local LLM so that it can just search for me. Because I've realized whenever we talk to our smart speakers at home, it's not often. It is very basic stuff. It's like, what is this? Like, what's this question? It's like basic questions you want answered immediately. Like, what's the capital of this? What is this? And, what is 5 meters to inches or something? You know what I mean? Very simple questions. And half the time, Alexa can't do it. it just messes it up, or it can't understand us, or it does say the answer, and then it keeps trying to follow up, trying to sell you something. And I'm like, dude, please stop. So I wanted to try to make my own speaker where I can just talk to it and it goes straight to my LLM and doesn't try to sell me anything, right? So I need a little bit more of a stronger CPU for that. And so I think I am moving to a Ryzen system just because of price availability, and running Home Assistant from it, and running some Z-Wave devices and a local LLM. So that's kind of the idea right now, is that I'd like to move on to a little bit more. And because of that, I'm using TrueNAS Scale right now. I kind of want to move into Proxmox and then TrueNAS Core. Uh, but I might hold off on that just for now once I have everything else set up, because uh, I can transfer my ZFS pool from TrueNAS Scale to TrueNAS Core if I need to. Apparently, I've never done it, but that's what I read online. And so it wouldn't be that big a deal to do it, because that's the biggest issue, is that if I want to move my data from one system to another, I'd have to get like a whole nother system to hide the data on temporarily and then move it onto it. But if I can just transfer the pool from Scale to Core, well, that's not the end of the world, actually. So that's kind of what's going on in my home lab right now. But um, it's kind of on the back burner. But that's the idea. See you later, Sam. Thanks for coming, man. Have a good night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, I was yapping. And Jason will never fall off, but he will tell you to fall on that subscribe button and turn on notifications with the bell icon. And throw your RAM kit on the like button to turn it up. That's pretty funny. If you can't do Monday streams due to increased production, let's do some Discord hangs. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd be down to just hang out in Discord with people. That's awesome that I did the same with spare parts. I'm running Proxmox and using VMs for TrueNAS, Plex, Image, and a Home Assistant. That's basically what I want to do. Yeah. Um, and then do a little LLM on the side, but nothing crazy. I truly do not want a GPU. Like, I don't want that kind of level of LLM. I want the tiny quantized versions that can just answer simple questions and can run directly off the CPU. That's all I need. Like, when I see people saying like, "Yeah, I got 4 3090s," I'm like, why? What could you possibly be using it for? Like, my goodness. Like, just say it. You're making porn with it. Let's be honest. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm not very good at Proxmox, and I'm really afraid to go to it. Like, I know the basics of it, but I need my home server to just work, right? And it's I have an issue that I think we all have, where we tinker too much. Like, my server is working right now. Why am I trying to change it? Because let's be honest, if I move it to Proxmox and then TrueNAS Core, what do I actually gain? Like, truly, I can do everything in TrueNAS Scale. I think I'm just trying to make things more complicated. And I tell myself, I'm like, well, Proxmox has better backup. Like, what if it goes down? And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. But TrueNAS is already backed up. I would be making Proxmox so I can back up Proxmox, right? Um, I don't know. We'll see. It just seems like the right way to do it, and that's how I want to do it. But then again, I'm just like creating more issues where I shouldn't be focusing on that. I should be focusing on like making more videos, right? Not messing around with my home lab. Or if I am going to do my home lab, I should make a video on it at the very least, right? But then I think people are going to be mad at me for constantly changing it. But isn't that part of the fun? But yeah, maybe I'll make a video on it. That'd be kind of cool because I am gonna start running Home Assistant on it, and I got a Z Wave. What is that? Z Wave not adapter, hub or whatever. And I want to start putting all my smart home devices onto it so I can control it from one interface. I had a beehole pucker moment. Removed the RAM to check model to price another stick. I had trouble seating or it was taking too long to post. I thought I broke it. Dude, that's a very real fear. That's very real. Many times. Like just the tiniest of things. That's what we had happen right before we left. The night or 2 nights before we left for our trip, the fan slash light in our bedroom started to mess up. It wasn't working. And it was because it is a fan that was previously a normal one where you had to pull the string. And so I had two smart switches there so that we could just turn it on and off normally. And then we changed the fan because the fan broke to one with a remote control. And the remote control is controlled separately. So if you have two smart switches, they always need to be on so the fan remote works. But because of some power issues, you're not supposed to use smart switches on those. You're supposed to use normal switches and then just keep them on all the time. And so that finally broke down right before we left. And I'm like, dude, and it's like 2 a.m. and I'm trying to fix this. And I'm like, not an electrician, but going through it and trying to rewire new switches onto the electrical thing in the dark with a little headset on, like trying to figure it out. I'm like sweating, and every time I mess up, I have to go and turn off the breaker and turn it back on. So I'm like, okay, this is getting postponed. So I literally just covered it up with paper, said don't touch, and because it's okay right now, but it means we can't use the fan or the light in that room. So I need to come back to it. The weird part was the RGB on the stick was working, but it still wasn't seated enough to post. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you get that sometimes. It's like enough to get a little bit of power, but not all the power. JT Bivens, what's up, man? Got a job I'm not looking forward to. I have 12 cassette tapes to convert to CDs for a church. Hate having to record side A, then B, then apply the noise filter and split the tracks up to burn. Yeah, that is a very manual job, isn't it? Oh, they want CDs. They don't want digital. That's interesting. Yeah. Anyone who's too young to know what JT Bivens is talking about, to convert those, you have to literally listen to it in real time. You have to let the tape run. And so as long as the cassette is, you have to listen to it. And you have to flip it and you have to listen to the other side. He has 12 of those. And then he has to apply noise filters, split it up himself. Yeah, that's a very manual job. But JT, you're the only man for the job. They've entrusted you with this. Man, I need it. Yeah, older people. I get them wanting CDs and DVDs more than digital. Okay, whatever works for their workflow. Nuts for the younger folks. CDs nuts for the younger folks. It's interesting. My niece is 18, and she was born in 2007, and there are people who believe that like she doesn't know what VHS tapes are. And I'm like, yeah, VHS tapes were done by 2010, 2011, 2012, but they weren't like completely eradicated. A lot of people were still using VHS tapes at that point. Like, obviously, DVDs were uh, everywhere at that point, but you people still had these huge VHS collections by that point, and they were still watching them. Like, they weren't, oh well, DVDs came out. I guess I'll never use a VHS again. Like, it took a long time for that transition to happen. Or what else? Or like landline phones. Someone accused her of not knowing what a landline is. I'm like, dude, she wasn't born in 2020. Like people had landline phones throughout the 2010s. What are you talking about? Or I see a lot of people accusing um older Gen Z people of not knowing what dial up is. My dude, he's that guy's 29. He had dial up. Like, what are you talking about? A lot of people had dial up well into the 2000s. Like, I know someone who didn't get high speed internet until like 2009. That is a fact. And that is surprising, but very true. I do VHS, VHS-C, mini DV, high 8, digital 8, high 9, and even 8 millimeter film reels. Nice. You do everything. Even my dad got rid of his landline. Yeah, my mom got rid of hers. Um, but it's been a while. I mean, 10 years ago, maybe even more than that. But there were many people who still had landlines throughout the 2010s. Like some people still have dial up. LTT just did a video of it. Yeah, dial up is still around, which is insane to me. I can't believe it. Like I don't know how that's possible. I understand wanting to live kind of off the grid a little bit, but well, I don't know how people do it. Like they live so far in the middle of nowhere, they barely have access to anything. I'm like, why do you do this to yourself? Like you can get a nice plot of land where you're closer to civilization. Like why do you want to cut yourself off so much? Why do you want to have um your dad is 68? Did he just stop his landline recently? Nathan says, I still have a landline phone here. Oh, nice. It is great for backup if there are mobile networks have issues like we have had here recently. Interesting. Is that more common in Australia, Nathan? Is it like is it incredibly far fetched that you still have a landline? Do people make fun of you for it, or is it like, or it's like a thing? Like a lot of people still have them, because I would say in America, unless you're like a business, um, it is incredibly rare to have a landline. Like I don't know anyone that has one, so I wonder if that's more common in Australia, or is that just because you're a tech nerd and you you like backups? Just curious. Most people I know would rather we lived like the Amish. You know, that's interesting. I know a lot of people like that, where they are like, I think they're different than the people you know. But the people I know, they are people who believe that they would be happier if they lived like the Amish. And they'll say things like, man, I wish I could just have a farm. It's like, dude, you've never grown a single thing. You've never raised an animal. You've never lived on a farm. You've lived in the suburbs. You've always had access to super high fast internet. What is this romanticization of owning a farm? I think you're trying to say I wish things were simpler. Like I understand that, but farmers are incredibly technologically savvy these days. Like have you seen a modern farm? They have more technology than your house. But this idea that's like, yeah, I just be happy with my farm and my I'm like, no, you wouldn't, dude. You grew up with the internet. Like, trust me, you would be miserable. Not saying some people couldn't be happy, but those people specifically would not be. It isn't common, but with the issues being to call emergency service that we had, that led to some deaths. Plus, yes, I'm a huge nerd. Gotcha. That's fair. I think having a backup is totally fair. There is happiness in simple living. I agree. If we could all give up some of these modern comforts, we would all be happy by comparison. I just don't want to. I agree. Most people I know are homesteaders, and they hate electronics. Interesting. I think I think there is something to be said about simple living. I think it's something that I'm trying to be better about, trying to find out where I can simplify things and just. I think we kind of, and this is a bad analogy, but there was a point where we decided that everything has to have an app and everything has to connect to Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? And I think that's when things started going downhill. Whenever they first made your refrigerator have Wi-Fi, that's when things started to go downhill. And I will die on that hill. Um, so I try to find reasons not to make things more complicated. And one of the things I've been doing recently is that I'm like starting to think about like, and this is a very very small thing. Do I really need a Kindle, right? Or a tablet or a phone? Is there what are the benefits to just buying or renting books as opposed to reading them on an e-reader, right? And there are tons of pros to having an e-reader, right? Like battery lasts forever, but you do have to charge it. It's really convenient. You can have 1,000 books at a time. It's much smaller. You can bring it on your trip with you or whatever. But it is just another device, right? And like to simplify things, it's like, do I really need another device, or is there some more benefit to just reading books the old-fashioned way? And I try to do that whenever I travel as well, where I try not to be the person who's like constantly taking photos and videos of everything, and I just try to like live in the moment and appreciate and enjoy what's happening to me at that moment. Um, which isn't to say I don't like taking pictures and videos. I do, but I try not to like let it consume me. I will like quick. Maybe I'll snap a very quick photo of something I think is particularly aesthetic or something I want to remember later on, and then just be done with it. Like not constantly, just constantly recording. You know what I mean? Yep. And now everything has to be AI. Yeah, that's the new Bluetooth. If you didn't have a 24-hour news cycle and didn't have a social media constantly telling you that you weren't good enough, we would all be happier and get along better. Yeah, for sure. I think everyone kind of agrees with that, though. I think doom scrolling is horrible. It's something that is killing young people. So and adults, not just young people. I've seen a lot of adults deal with it. There was a very famous post on, ironically, on Twitter the other day where it was some woman. I assume she was a young woman, and she said the post was just simply this: I used to knit. I used to game. I used to cook. I used to blah, blah, blah. I used to. That was the post. And literally, it was like, what happened to me? I used to have hobbies. I used to have interests. And now what do I do? Why did I stop doing all those things? And the problem is that you're doom scrolling. Like, truly, it is just doom scrolling. And this is a really big problem in China. Chinese people don't have hobbies, really, and they are primarily a doom scrolling country right now, more so than Americans. It's crazy. Old people, young people, like they have no hobbies. Basically, all they do is just doom scroll different social media apps. It's horrific. It's killing them. It's killing us too. But it's way worse there, where people, and I mean, I find myself doing it too. Where like literally, I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm not having fun. I'm not enjoying this. Why am I doing this? Like, I need to stop. And my friend, he'll never call it this, but he doom scrolls TikTok. And like literally his whole personality now is just repeating stuff he saw on TikTok. And that's not fun for him or for anyone. And him and other people, they convince themselves saying, well, I don't watch the bad stuff. I learn. I'm learning. I'm like, name one thing you've learned. Oh, well, I learned that Danny DeVito did this movie, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that's not learning, dude. You're not learning anything. You can't learn anything. You're learning little snippets of nonsense to pretend that it's teaching you so you can justify what you're doing. Like, if you want to learn, go learn something. Watching random TikToks is not learning. I don't care if there's knowledge to be had there. Like, it's just not. People die from gaming too much. They have some very strict gaming rules in China. Um, to play any type of game, you have to put in your ID, and if you are under, I think 18 or 21 years old or something, you can only play like 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day or something, and it can't be too late. It has to be like before 9 p.m. or something. They have very strict rules for it. For adults, though, they don't care. You do whatever you want. Can you please explain what doom scrolling is? Is going out to Reddit for a bit doom scrolling? That's a great question. So I would say doom scrolling is when you are stuck in a loop, and I do think Reddit is doom scrolling. I do. So is Twitter, which I use, TikTok, Instagram. It doesn't necessarily have to be uh, video. Video, it can be text, it can be images. Imgur, you can doom scroll. Basically, whenever there is an app that is a never ending scroll of content, no matter what it is like I'm just scrolling endlessly. I'm not particularly looking for anything. If you go to Reddit because you are looking for a thread where people talk about some issue you're having, I don't consider that doom scrolling. You are looking for targeted information, that's okay. Even if it was on Twitter or if it was on TikTok and you're looking for targeted information, that's okay. The doom scroll is whenever you are stuck in this loop of just scrolling all the way and you keep going and it's never ending of just content, of just nonsense, videos, images, text, memes, just actual nonsense. Some of it can be educational, most of it's nonsense, and even the educational stuff is because it's in a doom scroll, it is not sticking. You're not learning anything. You're absorbing it momentarily. It's junk food. It's junk food for your brain because it happens so quick. That scroll of death, you just can't stop it. And you realize 2 hours have gone by and you've done nothing. And but they appear to be helpful or they appeal to be interesting. But in the end of it, you're like, I don't remember anything from that. I wasted 2 hours doing nothing. And the problem is that young people, uh, teenagers, I would say particularly, if you look at the stats, they are drinking less alcohol, they're having less sex, they're smoking less cigarettes, they're doing less weed. Sounds great, right? They're also playing less games, watching less TV, spending less time with each other, uh, doing less anything, everything. So, what does that mean? Young people aren't doing anything anymore, not the good or the bad, because they're just doom scrolling. Like truly, young people have stopped doing everything except for just doom scrolling, and it is just killing them. It's killing their brain. It's killing their attention spans, their relationships, their friendships, their it just everything. It's like horrible. That's why the doom scroll is like the worst thing to happen. It is just a quick hit of dopamine that truly has no output. At least if you watch a movie, you get to absorb the movie and you get to think about it and you get to use it in your brain and like you enjoy it and it's really nice. But for doom scrolling, watching a 1 minute clip of a movie is not the same thing. And then moving on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It's not the same thing. And if people sit there and defend it, it means that they are sucked in and they don't realize it. They are in on it and they don't want to be told that what they're doing is killing them, right? It's horrific. That's why YouTube shorts can be so deadly. Doesn't mean all YouTube shorts are bad. I'm saying targeted is okay. If you go and find a YouTube short that is exactly what you want, hey, I see that. Boom. I clicked the YouTube short. I watched it. That was nice. Hit back. I'm good. Not doom scrolling, right? That's okay. It's all about that hours, hours, 30 minutes, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours. Horrible. It's horrific. So you gotta, if you ever find yourself doing that, it's time to, boom, put it down. Go walk away. Go do anything else. Anything. And I'm not even saying, I'm not the type of person saying you need to stop doom scrolling. You should just go to the gym immediately and go eat healthy and go learn a new language and read a book. I'm saying do anything. As long as you're doing something that you wanted to do. You're watching that movie, you're watching that TV show, you're playing that game, you're looking up information you wanted to look up. I'm not saying those are the best ways to spend your time. You can obviously be always be more productive, but I'm saying anything is better than doom scrolling. Anything. So as long as you're not doing that and you're doing something you actually enjoy and that you set out to do, it's so much better. Doom scrolling is endless scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, or any social media for hours on end. Pretty much it, yeah. That's it. Hattie, had if dev. What's up, dude? Good to see you. But the doom scrolling before doom scrolling that I recognized is, I think this is less of an issue. Is TV. Think about how TV used to be played. You would turn on the TV, it would go to a channel, and it would just scroll for you. You didn't choose what TV show you were watching. You chose the first one, really, right? And then it's just kind of TV show, advertisement, TV show, advertisement, TV show, advertisement. Like you're not scrolling. And so my friend's parents would do this every night. Like they'd get home from work, eat dinner, say it's 6 or 7 p.m., sit themselves in front of the TV and just pick one channel. Could be Fox News, could be TNT, whatever, and watch it until midnight and not move. Literally just they're not scrolling, but the TV is scrolling. And so they're watching for 5 hours. And I'm like, okay, I understand this might be better than the physical doom scroll, but you're still just being fed content you didn't choose and advertisements and stuff. We can do better than that now. 24-hour news media equal doom scrolling for the boomer generation. Yeah. Um, boomer will doom scroll on like Fox News and uh, Newsmax and stuff, Breitbart and stuff, and they like leave comments and they can't get over like they think they're because they're like it's the news. They think that it's good for them, and they're like, I'm being educated on the world, and it's like I'm constantly getting an influx of opinions that I'm turning into my own, and just like, dude, you have to stop. Even the news, just like you think you're doing something good, right? You think, oh well, it's the news. How can you say it's bad? I'm getting educated. I'm learning about the world. It's like, no, you're not, dude. No, you're not. They are showing you what they want to show. Now, if you said, I want to learn about Denmark, and you Googled the word Denmark and you watched a video on Denmark, okay, you are now learning about something that you wanted to learn. If you're just turning on political stuff and just waiting for them to show you what they want to show you, you're not learning anything. CNN counts too. Yeah, all of them. Anything. Like you can't just turn it on and pretend it's good for you just because technically you're learning something, I guess technically. But like, or let's say you hate a certain politician and you want to Google them and look them up. I think that's better than watching news stuff forever. Like like that's at least you did research on your own and you looked it up and you read what people said. You actively went to go seek it out. It was not fed to you. That's the difference to me. Is that whenever it's fed to you is the problem. You need to go and search out what you want to do and what you want to watch. And like that is like the best part about it. Because if you're just given nonsense, I wonder when we are gonna slopify games. Like, will there be a time where a game is interlaced with video and other doom scrolling? Like maybe like a doom scroll can be games and video. Like you're watching a video, YouTube short, YouTube short, YouTube short. Oh, game. Click, 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 click. Oh, beat that game. Next video, video game, 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 game. I did a little stupid thing on the game. Ooh, level completed. Next video. Dude, that's $1 billion idea. I'm calling TikTok right now. I'm calling it. That will happen, dude. Games will be incorporated into the Doom Scroll. It's happening. I guarantee it. They've already done it. Yeah. So if you find yourself in the Doom Scroll, which we all will, no judgment. It is addictive by nature, and you don't realize you're in it. Just just get out of it. Farmville equal doom scrolling. I I think if you actively go and you click on Farmville, it's not doom scrolling, and you play Doom. Like it's not a great way to spend your time, but better than doom scrolling because at least you chose it. You chose to play Farmville. You know what I mean? So why is it happening? It's easy and addictive. It's in a world of choice. We no longer have the 8 channels. We have every movie ever made, every TV show ever made, every game ever made, a 24-hour news cycle, tons of social media with millions upon millions of people's opinions at a swipe. It is content overload. It's really hard for people to choose what they want to do. And so the idea that it can just be fed to you and you can just absorb it like the good little piggy you are, it's really appealing to our brains. And I think if you tell anyone, hey, do you want to doom scroll? Like, no, I don't want to. But they can't help themselves. Like, it's just so good. Like, you don't have to think. You can just get the dopamine hits. You can get the nice little video. I watched a 1 minute clip from the bear. Ooh, that was good. Ooh, ooh, an AI video of a cat doing a cute thing. Yum 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 yum. Oh, like you know what I mean? Like you just it's just hard. Nobody wants to say they love it, but they do. Like they can't get away from it. It's so easy and so nice. I don't have to sit here and think about what TV show I want to watch out of literally every TV show in the entire world. You can just play a little snippet of me and I can just get a little bit of it. It's hard, man. It's tough. And it's worse for young people, man. They are just wrapped in. That is literally what Twitch and YouTube do with these gaming influencers. Young kids would rather watch someone play than play themselves, and then they get the apps. Yeah, um, that is what happens. I I cannot believe sometimes that like not to call out professional streamers. I'm not a professional streamer, but I went to the most popular streamer's stream to see what the hubbub was about, and his name was Kai Cenat. He's by far the most popular, incredibly wealthy. It was the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. I thought this guy was going to be playing games, or he was going to be funny, or interesting, or something. I watched for about an hour. It was him and like a couple of his friends, all basically just staring dead eyed at the screen, saying thank you for the money for 1 hour. He had like 70,000 people watching him. What are they watching? There's nothing to watch. There's nothing happening. Like, say what you will about some of the other streamers who are idiots, but they at least are doing something. Like, I don't get it. Like, does this guy do anything? Maybe I just caught him at a bad time, but like, I could not believe 70,000 people were watching this man, and a few of his friends just, thanks for the money. Yeah, the money. Thanks for the money. Thanks for the money. Thanks for the money. I'm like, say something, do anything. Like, why do people watch this? And I think that is also part of the loneliness epidemic. I think people are just lonely and like they want to feel like they have friends and they want to be with people. People don't hang out anymore. Um, I read an article about how in person hangs essentially are gone. Like people, especially young people, don't hang out in person. They hang out online sometimes. They talk online, they chat, they text, Discord, even FaceTime. They do stuff like that. But the in-person hang is dead. They don't spend time together in person, and so very rarely do they ever see each other or see anyone outside of work or school. Like they're just incredibly lonely, and they don't realize it, and they think they're not because we technically have access to all of our friends and family all at once, all the time, 24/7, forever. If I wanted to call someone I know and see their face, I could. And they think that is the exact same as just being in the room with someone. And it's literally not, like from science perspective. Um, it doesn't hit your brain the same way. It's great to have so much contact, but whenever Just the thought that you could call someone or you could spend time with someone, do it in person when you can. You know what I mean? Like, it's just killing us. Your community is small because intelligence is in short supply. Could be, but it's sad. I think a lot of these young people, I don't think they're unintelligent. I think they are entering a world in which it was created for them, and they don't know a world before it. Like they don't know a world in which people actually spend time with each other or don't have access to everything 24/7. Like they were born into a world that already existed. So there is a lot of young people who are kind of enamored by old tech. I think it's like more of a trend where they are like super into like old cameras and old phones and just like the old way of doing things and like incorporating that into their daily lives, which I think is pretty cool. I think that's great. And the old tech is obviously worse than what we have now. Yeah, like it just is. But just simplifying things a little bit goes a long way. I saw one YouTube video where this couple was traveling and they carried a digital camera with them everywhere they went, uh, and it's interesting. One thing I noticed is when we have phones, all the photos suck because we can take a trillion photos. But back in the day, whenever you had those disposable cameras or the film ones, and you only had like 20 or 30 shots, every photo counted. So you would not waste it on bullshit. Like the photos you took actually mattered. Now you are scrolling through those photos. It is just nonsense because you just take photo of anything and it's all bullshit. Like back then, like a photo actually mattered, and so whenever you'd look at the photo, it would actually be kind of a rare thing because it it, it was good. It was a moment in time that they chose because you can't take a photo of every moment in time, and that's why photo albums were so cool because they were the hits, right? And now, if you scroll through someone's photos, it's garbage. Could you imagine going through someone's photo reel now compared to like a photo album? My gosh. The Pap 23 Food 96. Yo, what's good, y'all? What's up, man? What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. Wally called it. Yeah, it's been a year since I've seen my friends in person, so it's probably bad. That's exactly it, dude. That's what I'm saying. It is bad. And you don't realize it's happening to you, but that is kind of what's going on. But because you're talking to them constantly, you don't think about it, right? Like you don't think about it. And it's just hurting you. It's hurting all of us, right? It's not just you. It's not like you're stupid or you did something wrong. Like this is the world we inherited and it's like you just have to get out of that. You have to get out and you have to call your friend. You have to say, let's meet in person. Let's go get dinner. Let's come to my home and we can just sit and talk. Like I get it, it's inconvenient, but you have to. Like it truly. And I do wonder if COVID played a big part of it because obviously, quarantine and shutdowns, we weren't allowed to meet in person. And I wonder if people have just extended that thought of like how we spent our time away from each other into the modern day, even though we don't have to anymore. I wonder if kind of young people kind of just like, hey, this is fine. Let's just keep doing this. And I don't need to see y'all. And whatever. My 13-year-old daughter is into Polaroids, and her favorite console is the Wii. She's a huge fan of Creed and 90s alt and grunge. Very cool. Very cool, yeah. A lot of young people are super into it, yeah. We are more connected than ever and more lonely than ever at the same time. It is a real problem. Pretty much, yeah. And we also, like, this is also a young people thing that we don't need to pick up a phone and call someone back in the day because we see their wall. Young people will update what they're doing and group chats and all that. So they're constantly talking like they are, and that's nice, but it's really not the same, unfortunately. The internet is a powerful tool in the wrong hands for the most part. Yeah, I think it can be really, really good, but we need to. I think people just need to be aware. Just be aware that this is happening. Reach out to your family and friends. Say, hey, let's get together. Even though it's not a holiday, it's not a birthday. I just want to see you. We can sit, we can talk, we can play games, we can watch a movie together, we can eat some food, we can bond. Let's yuck it up. Like, let's do it. Get off our phones. No phones. Don't. If you, let me tell you all this, the best way to stop doom scrolling is to shame. If you are hanging out with someone and they start doom scrolling, yell at them. Say, put your phone away, dude. Do not doom scroll when I'm in the room. Is this not enough? Is your brain so bored of whatever we're doing that you have to get more dopamine, yum, 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 in your belly, in your brain? Come on. Name and shame. Name and shame. Okay. It's been 2.5 hours. I'm going to call it quits there. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for coming. You guys are awesome. You guys are super cool. Super nice to always have the same people in the chat and any of the new people I didn't know before. Good to see y'all. Sorry for people who just got in. We've been going for 2.5 hours. It's been a great stream. Hopefully next time it's not as depressing. Upcoming videos. I'm going to make a video on this guy pretty soon here. A video on the B580 graphics card. And hopefully some shorts coming up. I'm going to make some shorts that are funny. Gonna try to be funny. When's the next stream? No promises. Maybe next week if I have something to say. Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. It really depends if I have something to say or if I have something I want to do. I do have my NAS to put together. Maybe I can do that on stream because I got to assemble it into a new case. So, yeah, those are always fun to put computers together. So, we'll see. You knew where everyone was back in the day if all their bikes were in someone's yard. That's very true. When I was 13, we rode bikes and got into trouble. I don't even think my kids can ride bikes, and they aren't that interested. Yeah, that's very true. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yes, that's true. This is probably going to be the last time I see y'all until Christmas. So if I don't see y'all that time, Merry Christmas to everyone. Yeah, be in the Discord. If you guys, I'm going to drop a link to the Discord. If you're new to the server, the Discord is a small community. We hang out. We yuck it up in there. Come on in. I'll drop a link. It's in the description. Go ahead and join. Stay safe, bro. Merry Christmas to you and your family. You too, Nathan. Merry Christmas to everyone else. If I don't see you by New Year's, have a great New Year's, guys. Stay safe out there, okay? Don't drink and drive, or I'll kick your ass. All right. Have a good night, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. Thanks for coming.